I'm Alpina Singh, and welcome to Check Please, the show where regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how this show works. Every week we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 get to check them out to see what they think. This week, real estate broker Emily Madigan says if you're in the market for a welcoming neighborhood spot with stellar sushi that's in anyone's price range, Gino's just the place. But public health project manager Ann Wong knows what's good for her. She says when a sugary treat and a vintage vibe are just what the doctor ordered, you should pop into her sweet selection. But up first, attorney Chris Esbrook says thanks to growing up with his mother's bright, beautiful Southern Italian cooking, he really knows his way around a bowl of pasta. He says for truly Italian flavors in an elegant environment, stroll over to the Gold Coast and join him at Pelago.
I try to give it the customer simple, traditional, but interesting food. But at the same time, it need to be something you want to eat more than one time. You know, to make a fresh pasta is almost, I think, the most important thing is to make your own pasta. Here we make everything in the house, the bread 2 times a day, you know, all the pastry, all the things come from the restaurant. If you put it together two ingredients, good ingredient, the result is always good. At the end, always you see me on the front because I want to see the face of people. You recognize whether they're happy or not. Try to understand about the experience and make myself better for next time.
So Chris, you say Pelago is perfection. Tell us why you chose it.
So I think Pelago has the best Italian food in Chicago because the flavors are precise, the food is delicate, and it's genuinely incredible and authentic Italian food.
And Pelago is not just a restaurant, it's also an experience.
Correct.
Would it fair to say a little bit of a throwback?
It's throwback in the sense that the service is elegant. And there's not too many restaurants that have elegant service anymore. So It's throwback in that sense.
Well, the waiters are calling Signora.
Exactly. I went with my wife. They brought a little table next to our table that she could put her purse on so the purse doesn't have to touch the floor.
Tell us about some of your favorite dishes at Pelago.
The risotto with white truffles is incredible. The risotto, perfectly cooked, it's al dente the way you want it, and it's a generous helping of truffles. The penne with the hen ragu is incredible, really flavor forward, and again, al dente pasta. And the veal chop is probably one of my favorite dishes in the city. A beautifully grilled piece of veal with oyster mushrooms on top and a wine reduction, incredible.
And what did you think?
I definitely think it has that like throwback vibe, you know, that you don't really get in Chicago anymore. And I think then it kind of goes back to how, I think maybe it's something to do with like my younger generation. A lot of times when I go out to restaurants, you know, it's a bit more of like a casual vibe, even when it's a nicer place. I thought that the food was like really good, but I kind of felt like the service was maybe a little bit too stuffy for me, and it almost made me a little bit uncomfortable. I thought the pasta was phenomenal. Like we ordered the 4 sampler as our entree, and I did have the penne with the hen ragu that you mentioned. I thought that one was amazing. And then there was also a lamb ragu, and my husband who loves lamb, like he thought it was great. And then lastly, we had the gnocchi, and it was some of like the best homemade gnocchi that I've had. Wasn't the biggest fan of my salad, the tricolor salad that had the arugula. It was just all I could taste was the arugula the entire time. You know, I didn't feel like...
It's a good taste. Arugula is a good taste.
It's very strong.
It's peppery. It's very peppery. Emily, you went on a family night dinner. What'd you think?
I did. So I liked it. It was very elegant, like you said. I thought that the service was very attentive, but I will agree with Anne. I felt at one point I thought that it was like Secret Service agents that were surrounding us. We felt, we're also, I have to interject and say, we're very loud people. So as a family, like we felt like we had to whisper the whole time because it's a nicer place.
Chef Mauro's wife designed the restaurant. It's a beautiful little spot.
It's gorgeous. So
Yeah.
she's an architect, and it's really understated, but really
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
just white and fresh and clean.
Exactly.
I did like the little touches, like the stool for the purse. Like, I thought that was great. It was very elegant. I felt like possibly the food didn't match the price point. I got the Dover sole, which was in like a white wine butter sauce with capers, and we had a pesto pasta and then a spaghetti. So there was a good balance. You can definitely tell that the pasta is homemade in-house and it's really fresh, delicious ingredients. I just didn't feel like there was anything that I would run back for, but I also thought that the food was good.
Chris, I mean, Pelago is a pricier restaurant, but you're saying that you get so much more for that money. The service, the quality of the food.
The prices are consistent with the quality you're getting. You're getting the absolute best ingredients. You're getting the absolute best pasta. The chef is kind of a world-renowned, top-level chef at the height of his talents. The wine list is really incredible. It's wine from all across Italy that you're not able to get at other places.
And did you have a chance to explore the neighborhood afterwards?
Yeah, we did walk around a bit. I mean, it's the Gold Coast, you know, it's a lot of tourists, especially along Michigan Avenue. You're going to see like lots of people who have gone shopping, you know, and things like that, and a lot of hotels.
It's kind of almost a weird break
It is.
from the hustle and bustle
Yeah.
of Michigan.
You're
It's like
in a
right off.
more
Residential area.
residential.
It is.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I liked that.
I described that part of Streeterville, Gold Coast as almost like the Upper East Side of New York.
Right,
It reminds
exactly.
me of all the brick buildings and
Exactly right.
You know, would you say that Pelago is a hidden gem, hiding there in plain sight in the Gold Coast?
I would. I just read some list, and it is not on the list of the 20 best Italian restaurants in Chicago by some Chicago publication, but it is on the list of the 50 best Italian restaurants outside of Italy. I mean, if you really want, you know, the kind of absolute top-notch experience for Italian, this is it.
All right, Chris, you chose Pelago. Sum it up for us.
I think Pelago is the absolute best Italian restaurant in the city, and if you're looking for really wonderful Italian food, this is the place to go.
Anne?
I think that Pelago, you know, if you are looking for like fantastic pasta, because some of the best pasta in the city, but you know, maybe stay away from the arugula salad.
And Emily?
I think that the restaurant is very elegant. The service was super attentive, and the ingredients were super fresh.
Well, you can try the pasta for yourself at Pelago, 201 East Delaware Place, 312-280-0700. They're open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Reservations are accepted, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is $95. Ann Wong says she's always longed for the days of the neighborhood soda fountain. So she was delighted to discover a retro spot that not only concocts all sorts of bubbly sips, but also offers delicious cafe fare and pastries. She says if that sounds sweet to you too, head to Humboldt Park and swing into Spinning J.
We are a neighborhood cafe that specializes in baked goods and pie, and we make all of our soda syrups, baked goods, everything from scratch. So it's an old school diner feel with more modern food. My background is in pastry, and Parker's background is as a chemist. And so when we started researching the history of soda fountains, we realized that it was the perfect blend of my background in culinary and Parker's background as a chemist. So it was sort of where science and food came together.
One of the best things about running this place, obviously it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of kind of craziness and random things that come up, throw you off. But the best part is when people come in, they're having a good time. When we get to see the same people coming in every day or every week, that's like really heartwarming and gratifying.
I wanted a place where people were happier when they left than when they came in. The biggest compliment I've received is that it feels like Spinning Jay has been here forever, that it's been a part of the neighborhood since long before I was part of the neighborhood. That feels great.
So Anne, you say that Spinning Jay hits the spot. Tell us why you chose it.
I love dessert. You know, I'm gonna be the first one who always says yes to dessert, and they have phenomenal pies here. They're always seasonal, so depending on the season, you know, they kind of change, but something that's always consistent and has been on the menu since probably day one is their key lime hibiscus pie with like a blueberry sauce on top and whipped cream. And it is probably, you know, I'm not even like a huge key lime pie person, but I will always get that pie, like if it is available, which thankfully it is. They also know my husband by now because I send him a lot to go pick up dessert for me. So yeah, it's a great place where you can send your significant other to pick up desserts for you at home. But it's also like a really great place to just go in, you know, and have like not even just dessert, because they have like sandwiches and also pot pies. They have the like saag paneer pot pie, which it's just, you know, I love Indian food, and it's just such a great, it's such an interesting way to like have like a saag paneer. I also loved their toasted ham sandwich. It had, you know, pickles in there and also pickles on the side. I love pickles. And then one of my favorite things about it is the Friday pizza nights, and it's a great deal. It's $10. You get like a fresh slice of pie, a salad, and then also one of their homemade sodas. And I kind of feel like I've never gone wrong with like,
you know, it's interesting about Spinning Jay's. It's a retro spot, but they're doing sort of fresh, modern takes on classic dishes, like you say with the pie, key lime with hibiscus, you know, and the soda fountain. But they're doing some fun flavors. And so, Chris, you went with the group, and you had all of the flavors.
We had all of the food, yeah, and it was genuinely, it was really great. I mean, really, it was really great.
So, what are some of the fun things you had?
Okay, so the best things we had, it was the best tuna melt I've ever had. It was a delicious tuna melt.
It's my favorite sandwich.
It's a really good sandwich, and it's a really great tuna melt. The pies, we had the lemon meringue with poppy seed in the meringue.
Oh yeah, that
was
delicious.
Really it was delicious. And the sodas are great too. So like she said, the sodas, that's homemade syrups. And so we had cucumber, we had the lime, we had the cherry cola. The cherry cola was great. I think the standout was the root beer, the homemade.
So the classic.
The classic.
Did
the
you make it
homemade
a
root
float?
beer. I did not make it a float because, like I said, we tried everything on the menu, so I had reached my brim.
Emily, what do you think?
I loved it. I thought it was so charming. Everything from, you know, when you walk in and you have like the pie, the case with all the pies and everything in there. Even like the straw dispenser was adorable.
Do you have pie?
We did not have pie. We got a cinnamon roll. I know. We got a cinnamon roll.
It's a sourdough cinnamon roll.
Yes.
Which like kind of makes it like really interesting. You know, you get a little bit more flavor from that.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Everything was really good there. But yeah, we had 4 people at our table. And I thought it was funny, the booths are like comically small.
They're so small.
I mean, you just really have to know the person next to you because you're really snuggled
They're made
up.
from old church pews.
Oh
Really?
yeah, that's funny.
You know,
cool is
everything's
that?
reclaimed in there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So you went with your daughter, who's
Yes.
17, and
Yes.
kind of a nostalgic place that maybe her grandmother would have gone to. What'd she think of it?
She loved it, but she's also a little hipster, so she thought it was super cool. She brought a friend along, and they loved having the milkshakes, and we got like 3 different kinds of sodas. I mean, maybe that's why the booth seems so small, because we have so much food. But
So, Anne, you don't live too far away from Spinning Jay. What's the neighborhood like?
So it's in a very cute little like corner section of Humboldt Parks, and then you're also gonna find some shops. You know, it's just a fun area that I like to go a lot on like weekend mornings. You know, like stop in for some food and then just kind of take a stroll through the neighborhood.
How was the service?
it was great. You pay for everything up at the counter, and then you sit and you wait, and they bring it to you, and they clear everything off. So it was great. It just came out as it was ready, and
But it's not a place to linger and be on your
No,
laptop.
they actually have like a little card at the table that says, very nicely, but says, when you're done, please leave, because we only have so much space available.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Price point wise, how much are we paying for these things?
Very, very reasonably
Yeah.
priced.
Yeah.
It's BYO, so it's really particularly reasonably priced. And so on the website, they actually suggest mixers for each soda. So they'll suggest add gin to this, add vodka to
that's
this,
nice.
add tequila to this.
So how did you transport
So
the alcohol?
my lovely, lovely wife bought me for Christmas 2 years ago, like a satchel.
You have like a traveling bar.
I have a traveling bar.
amazing.
Yeah, really, seriously. And so I filled it up and we brought it to the place and they were all about it. They loved it.
Because I was thinking, did you like pull out a flask? Like,
No.
Right, you're classy.
Yeah, exactly.
you're classy.
Exactly.
Classy
And it was
traveling
great. Right, exactly.
So are there like tables looking at you and you're just like pouring your gin?
Yeah, with envy. With
I
envy.
hear that you're jealous.
Don't judge. You wish you were me. Okay, and you chose Spinning Jay. Sum it up for us.
I think it's a great place to go to kind of grab a sandwich or pie, or simply just to send your husband to pick up some dessert for you.
All right, Emily?
I thought it was a charming cafe with delicious homemade fare in a trendy neighborhood.
And Chris?
It's a really adorable place to get a sandwich, pie, and a soda, and it's really fun too.
All right, well, you can try the pies and much more at Spinning Jay, 1000 North California Avenue, 872-829-2793. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Tuesday to Sunday. Reservations are not accepted, and the average dinner tab per person is $15. Emily Madigan's business as a real estate broker takes her all over Chicago, but when she's in the mood for sushi, she likes to stay close to home. She says for superb service, a cozy space, and exquisitely fresh sushi, that's the real deal. Follow her to Irving Park and pull up a stool at Raisu.
You can get fish from Japan twice a week. The skill is how you cut a fish, how you prepare, how you do it, how you cook the rice, right? We don't use a lot of sauce because we have the best ingredient. So we don't want to ruin the taste of the fish. It's about the service, friendly service, good food, good sake, good wine. The biggest compliment they give me is we have the best fresh fish in the house. We have toro, uni. Sit back, relax, and I do everything. So just do omakase, set a budget, I will organize it for you. Just sit back, relax, feel at home.
So Emily, you say that Raisu is first rate. Tell us why you chose it.
I love it because they really accent the sushi there. The fish is super, super fresh. So when you go there, it's not a ton of rolls that are masked in like spicy mayo or tempura. They really let the fish shine. So, and I think it's a really cute place. It's close to our house. It's only a couple blocks away, so it's easy to walk down there.
And by fresh, meaning they have things flown in
from
the
Japan.
market.
Yeah, so it's always changing. They have new specials whenever we go in. We're asking them what the specials are because it goes quickly. So
yeah, and also what's unique about this restaurant is that it's really family friendly.
Yes, very family friendly.
Which I think is so interesting that sushi restaurants have become more kid friendly. We have kids that love sushi.
Right.
When we were there, there was probably 5 families there with little sophisticated 8-year-olds with chopsticks having sashimi. It was incredible.
Right. Anne, what'd you think?
I thought it was fantastic. I went on a Wednesday night, and I guess like on Tuesdays to Thursdays and also Sundays, probably, the slower nights, they have a omakase special. They call it the Omakase 101. It's literally whatever the chef decides is the freshest that day. They're just gonna go up there, and plate it up. And so for 7 courses, it's $65. And I think for like an omakase in the city, that's a phenomenal deal.
It's usually about half price.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna get a variety of kind of like everything there. Usually it's a lot of sashimi and nigiri, and so with that omakase special, you basically get a little bit of everything, you know. You get their starter, it was the agadashi tofu that night, which is fantastic, and all the fish, you know, like you said, it's just, it's so fresh, you know, like there's like some places that, you know, you go get sushi and you're like, how do I really feel about this? But here, like I felt like
gamble.
That's when you leave.
you're like, should I really be here?
Chris, how was your experience?
It was terrific. I really liked the place, and I thought it was, you know, you could tell this is a place that takes sushi and takes fish seriously. I also did the omakase. It was great. So they give you, the soup was amazing, a tofu soup, and then you have an appetizer, and then they give you nigiri, and they just tell you, let us know when you're 70% full, and then we know when to kind of stop the courses. Right. And I thought, in particular, the crab nigiri was like one of the better nigiris I've had. It was really, really, really great fish.
So Chris, I mean, Chicago has so many wonderful sushi spots now where the chef really has trained and is very passionate about the provenance of the fish. Where would you put Raisu in sort of that category?
Yeah, you know, I think from my point of view, where Raisu's lane is, it is really spectacular fish in a very kind of low-key, laid-back, family-friendly ambiance.
Yeah. So Emily, what are your favorite items to get there?
Well, some of the things I can't get right now because I'm pregnant, but my favorite things that I've been dreaming about for the last 7 months, the scallops are delicious. They melt.
Those are so good.
They melt in your mouth. I've been dreaming about them. Those are great.
Those are the Hokkaido ones that he flies in?
Yes, they're so good. I've been trying to like uni, so every time that I've been going, I don't like it, but every time I try.
It's a little foie gras of the sea.
Right, I try. But yeah, I like the rose appetizer that they have, which is a salmon appetizer. I get the aka ebi, which is like a seared sweet shrimp. And it comes like with the fried head on it, which the first couple times I went, I was a little like freaked out at, and now I'm like, give me your head, you know, to my husband. But
they still do the traditional, not traditional, but like the signature maki rolls.
They do, yeah. We do the hijack. Otherwise, they have like a really cool one. It's called the Inferno, and the plate is actually set on fire when they bring it out, so it's kind of fun as well. And then we usually end the night with a strawberry mochi.
Perfect. And describe the look of the restaurant.
Yeah, so everything there for the seating, it's mostly going to be like high up bar stool seating, and then a couple like lower benches without backs. And I found like the bar seating a little bit uncomfortable. I'm a bit shorter, you know, than most people, so I'm kind of like on my tippy toes the entire time. So I kind of felt like by the end of the meal, like, you know, my butt was a little bit numb. But like aside from that, it's like a cute place.
It's like industrial chic.
Right. I think they've done a good job with the space that they have. So
Emily, tell us about Chef Simon.
He's great.
You know, he's really good friends with your husband.
Right. He's very chatty. So when I wanted to just be like one-on-one, I'm like, sorry, Simon, we're not sitting at the sushi bar. We're going in the corner here. But no, he's super friendly. They're always really quick to suggest something, you know, make a recommendation. And he really knows his stuff.
Definitely done his training. He was trained 6 years with the gentleman from Maku, Kaze-chan, and then he also spent time at Katsu as well. So he's trained with the masters.
Right.
Emily, you chose Raisu. Sum it up for us.
I think it is upscale Japanese cuisine in an unassuming location.
Chris?
Terrific sushi, family-friendly, great neighborhood spot.
And Anne?
I think if you've never tried omakase before, it's a fantastic place to get started.
All right, well, you can try the omakase for yourself at Raisu, 2958 West Irving Park Road, 773-961-7299. They're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Reservations are accepted, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is $50. So on this week's show, we featured Pelago on Delaware, Spinning J on California, and Raisu on Irving Park Road. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we headed to Delaware Place and popped into Pelago. Chris recommends it for perfectly authentic Italian cuisine and elegant service. Anne said the pasta was fantastic, but the service style was a little too formal for her. Emily enjoyed the fresh ingredients and attentive service, but felt it was a little stuffy. Then we cruised to California Avenue and spun into Spinning J. Anne recommends it for enticing desserts and cafe fare in a charming space. Emily loved the delicious homemade dishes in a trendy neighborhood. Chris said go for tasty bites in a fun and adorable environment. Lastly, we made our way to Irving Park Road and rolled into Raisu. Emily recommends it for fresh, approachable, and affordable sushi. Chris found the fresh fish and family-friendly atmosphere fabulous and said it's a great place to try omakase for the first time. We've had just a wonderful time this week, and I'd like to thank my guests, Chris Esbrook, Ann Wong, and Emily Madigan. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Alpina Singh, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers. That was so much fun.
Hey, it goes quickly, right?
That goes very quickly.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.